What's going on, guys? We are here with the Pony Express down in the stables. Just kidding, this is the Armory in Act 3, and we're just down here messing with some horses. Not in that kind of way. Now, I wanted to go over a build with you guys today that is new to 2.1, and I saw a bunch of horses there, and I'm going to show you why. The main thing it's going to revolve around is the Unrelenting Phalanx. You'll see there on the secondary, Phalanx now cast twice, and we're going to go over this build here with you real quick. Very fun, very, very powerful, right up there with the Heaven's Fury build that we used to have. So if you've got that gear from the Econ set, you've got your cooldown reduction, you know, you can switch right over to this with pretty much one piece of gear. And you can still use Fate of the Fell. This time we just happen to have a furnace handy, so we're going to use this for the video. You can go with any other two-handers. There's some other builds you can go out there with as well, but for the sake of this video, we're just saying, hey, this is an easy way to transport over and do things a little differently. Now, Phalanx with Stampede. Now, that's what you saw that was going on real quick, but here, we'll go over the skills real quick. You can put this together if you want, if you're watching that part. We're going to go over how they play together. And then we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of gameplay to show you guys how this works. Phalanx with Stampede, Shield Glare with Divine Verdict, Steed Charge with Endurance, Provoke with Too Scared to Run, Laws of Valor with Unstoppable Force, Akarat's Champion with Prophet, and for your passives, Lord Commander, Heavenly Strength, Holy Cause, and Finery. Now, your main attack is going to be Phalanx with Stampede. Now, that's where you saw all the horses coming out. And they come in groups of 3, and since it's casting twice, you're going to see 2 sets there. They do a ton of damage, and like I said, we'll show you in gameplay right after this. Shield Glare should look very familiar. With Divine Verdict, blinded enemies take 20% more damage for 4 seconds. So you go up, you blind these guys, and then you start hitting them with a bunch of horses, and it hurts them more. Pretty simple. Steed Charge with Endurance, mount a Celestial Warhorse, allowing you to ride through enemies unimpeded for 3 seconds. Now, I wish you could hop on the Stampede, but instead you get 1 horse. Still cool, though. We've got it with Endurance, so we can get out of danger, run a little bit further. Provoke with Too Scared to Run. This is going to generate some extra wrath when you start to get a little bit low. Taunted enemies have their attack speed reduced by 50% and their movement speed slowed by 80% for 4 seconds. So they're not going to run too fast away from you when you do taunt them. It does help there. Laws of Valor with Unstoppable Force. The passive granting you and your allies 8% increased attack speed. Very good to have, but the active part of this, granting you and your allies 15% attack speed and reducing the wrath cost of all skills by 50%. That's for 5 seconds. But, you know, Phalanx is going to cost quite a bit more, you know, now that you're running this all the time. And so you need to be able to cut down on the cost there, which is the other part with the, you know, Econ set. You'll see reduce the cooldown of Akarat's Champion by 50%, and then the 4-piece bonus, reduce the cost of all abilities by 50% while Akarat's Champion is active. It's always good to have Akarat's Champion around. Explode with the power of your order, increasing your damage by 35% and increasing your wrath regeneration by 5 for 20 seconds. So that helps get your wrath back, plus you're doing 35% more damage. Very, very fun to have. We're running this with Prophet. Gain 150% additional armor while Akarat's Champion is active. So you get the extra defense there. But the second part of that, the first time you take fatal damage while Akarat's Champion is active, you'll be returned to full health. Now that's pretty important, especially if you're in greater rifts where at some point you're probably going to die. You know, you don't get into higher greater rifts and live the entire time. If you do, you're probably lying to yourself. For your passives, Lord Commander, the cooldown of Steed Charge is reduced by 25%, Bombardment by 35%. So you can, you know, you could probably work something in here if you want with Bombardment. You might be able to take Provoke out if you're doing well, if you have permanent Akarats. But the other part, damage dealt by Phalanx is increased by 20%. So your Phalanx there is going to have the extra 20% increased damage. Heavenly Strength, this increases, well, I take that back, it no longer increases. It allows you to wield a two-handed weapon. Since they buffed the hell out of two-handed weapon damage, they felt it necessary to add your damage dealt is reduced by 20%. That's okay. Holy Cause, the amount of damage dealt by your weapon is increased by 10%. Whenever you do holy damage, you heal up to 1% of your total life. You could go another direction if you want, and that's okay. We're just getting the extra 10% damage out of our weapon for this one. We don't have a whole lot of holy damage going on. This is physical with the phalanx there, so that's going to be where the damage is coming from. Finery, 1.5% strength for every gem socketed into your gear. So very important to make sure you are geared out to have your gems there. We're working on getting some sockets in our gear and a little bit better gear. So I don't play the Crusader all that much. So some of you guys are definitely going to have better gear than I do. So we're going to go over the gear here. I do have a furnace. I got this just yesterday. So I'm messing around with this. It increases my damage against elites by 50%. Kind of a fun thing to play around with right now. Of course, the con set, very important, and cooldown reduction goes a long ways. You want to have Acrats around permanently. Now, if you don't have it permanently, that's okay. There's a way to bridge the gap if you hold on to your Laws of Valor in between everything. If you're running Acrats Champion and you have a decent amount of cooldown reduction, we're at 44.65. Definitely wish we had more. But when that runs out, then we'll run Laws of Valor. That way we still have 50% reduction to bridge that gap until Acrats comes around. If you don't have high cooldown reduction, you're probably going to find this to be a little bit difficult to run. But that's okay. Captain Crimson set for the extra cooldown reduction. You can go with the boots and the belt there. If you are feeling kind of frisky and you got a broken crown, I believe is the new one, that increases it doubles the effectiveness of the gem that you have in your helm. You can do that and run with the boots instead and figure out another combination with some other gear. I don't know why I have the holy ones on. We need to switch that over to physical. Rings, if you've got, Royal Ring of Grandeur, pretty much necessary. Amulet, if you've got some stuff, I have this because it's, a decent roll plus the cooldown reduction. Go ahead and throw some gems in your gear and be able to do some other stuff. We're going to go ahead and do a little bit of gameplay. We're going to come out of the stables there and do a little bit of damage. And we're going to switch these bracers back over to the physical. And we're going to show you guys this in action and show you how those horses stampede over stuff, as opposed to coming out of some stables. So stick around. If you're cutting off here, definitely appreciate you watching. And we're going to go ahead and put some gameplay together for you guys, so stick around. Alright, we now have our physical bracers on like we should have, because this is a physical build. And we're going to go ahead and hop into the Keep Depths 3 and see what kind of damage we can do. Now you're going to see the Stampede is going to knock things back. The wall can actually interrupt your skill as well. So that's why you're only going to see 1 or 2 horses coming out there. But we get around the corner and you die. Don't want to waste too much time on one guy. You can't run from the horses, buddy. Don't even try it. So we'll see this guy. Let's see how much damage we can do. We're seeing big 40 million, or yeah, we're seeing huge, like 4. How much am I looking at? 40 million? Yeah, we're seeing big chunks come out of it. Here's some elites. Let's see what these guys want. What do you guys want? Let's blind them real quick. We can't hurt that guy that's immune. It's actually easier to fight the yellow guys because they don't go anywhere. Let's see if we can get this guy. Go ahead and come on in here and hang out with us, buddy. No? Our follower's going to have all the fun there. We'll just get them back in here. We're going to toss these guys around. You'll see our Acrats champion ran out, so we're going to use the laws there to go ahead and bridge that gap. We didn't take time to use our taunt, but we didn't really have to. But as you can see, those elites went down quickly. It does help that I have the furnace, but you can certainly go any other direction to go ahead and do damage to those elites. And here, we'll go ahead. We'll pop this shrine here in 1 second. You'll see the white mobs go down very quickly here. Now, go ahead. See, I actually kind of like the yellow guys because they just kind of stand there and take it. Like, all right, you can take it. I don't care. You're seeing big chunks of life coming out because we're hitting them with multiple horses there. And he is dead. So it actually makes a little bit more sense to fight the yellow guys than I guess it normally would to fight the... we'll go ahead and blind you real quick. And look at that health bar. Just drop. And that is incredible. And we need to get out of danger there because we are taking far too much damage. And that happens. That happens. We need to get some more resistances on this guy, but that's okay. He is dead now. We had big chunks coming out from the Stampede there. Watch this guy. Where are you going? You're dead. It's fun to play with, man. I love this build. It's very fun. Shout out to somebody in my clan for, saying, hey, I'm playing this Crusader, and you should probably try this out. I mean, I hadn't really touched the Crusader in 2.1. I don't even know if I've logged onto him other than to, swap some gear out that I might have accidentally left on him that I wanted my Barbarian to have. But as you can see, I'm very happy that I came back to play with this guy. I mean, it's a lot of fun. So hopefully you guys, if you still have the Heaven's Fury build, then maybe you can hop over to Kadala. She gave me my shield within my first couple hundred shards today. Special shout out to Kadala. Love you for now. But that's it, guys. That's the build. If you like the video, if you like the build, feel free to hit the like button below. And microphone almost got lost there. Else, please leave a comment below. Tell me something that you might be running with a little bit differently, another skill you might be using. If you're going to tell me I need more cooldown reduction, I already know that. So feel free to leave comments below. Let me know what you think of the build. Let me know if, the pony build helps you out any bit. Look at that. These things are beautiful, aren't they? So let me know what's working for you. Come back and say, hey, this worked for me. If not, come back and say, hey, that sucks. I'm still using Fate of the Fell because it is still very effective in 2.1. So as always, guys, thanks for watching, and happy hunting. We'll see you next time.